almost arrived at the same time as me in China, and he actually had a lot of adventures along the way, as many people do in China, and he has started a really, really interesting new adventure. Please come to the spotlight so everybody can also see you, and give a warm hand for Oki Alexander.
You might have seen me hanging out in a tree on Fun of City weekend. I run MovNat Shanghai, and today I'll be speaking a little bit how we've been making our body less intelligent over the last couple of generations. And we are some of the most disempowered people ever walk this earth. And our lack of holistic movement forms a big part of this. So, even the ones among us that think they're strong actually are missing an important piece of the puzzle to the road of being able and adaptable. So, what happened to us exactly? To find this out, we have to rewind to hunter-gatherer times. And in this time, we had to be all-rounders. We had to be able to do everything that allows us to gather food, run from saber-toothed tigers, build shelter, travel to greener pastures. And this is the period in which our body developed to what it looks like today. If you take a guy from 400,000 years ago, you put him in modern clothes, he'll look just like us. So, taking a big leap forward from here, very big leap, we end up in the Greek gymnasiums. And this is the first time that we started to separate actual skill practice from conditioning, and that looks became as important as actual skill. The conditioning and skill was still very connected though, because it was all connected to warfare. There was plenty of food, but war was always around the corner, as you can imagine. Then, another big leap forward to the Industrial Revolution, where suddenly we all start sitting. And moving to survive is completely unnecessary at this point. We now need to make money to survive, and to make money, we have to sit down. So this goes together with a strong track to the cities. We start to live in these urban cocoons, where there's no need to move or adapt at all. Roads are all flat, everything is man-made that we touch, there are cars, there are elevators, no need to move. The need to move has dwindled to almost nothing compared to what it was before, because everything is made for our convenience. So if this continues, it might not be very hard to imagine that in a while we would just be sitting in folding chairs, watching the screens in front of our face, and not move anymore at all. But luckily there were some people that were really concerned about this. So with our new reductionist and analytical thinking, we thought like, well, why don't we make some machines that can make us stronger? So conditioning now was further removed from actual skill practice than ever before. And machines simulate practical movement, but actually there are things neglected, like balance and adaptability that's necessary for actual real-life skill. On the other end of the spectrum, we have people enrolling in sports more and more. And this does require balance and adaptability, but because of its specialized nature, also it is less connected to actual skill and more prone to injury. So most of our population can be split into three major groups. Ones that do specialized movement, ones that don't move at all, and ones that do conditioning, only conditioning, which is now completely removed from any skill that we might use in real life. So by eliminating our need to move to survive, we have in fact domesticated ourselves. We have become poodles instead of wolves. Our cities are a zoo, free from predators and uneven surfaces, and food plenty whenever we need it. So many of us have lost abilities that we used to have. In the US Army, for instance, they used to have the squat as a preferred shooting position, until they were not able to draft enough people that were actually still able to squat. So what they did was eliminate this position, and instead just, instead of teaching their soldiers to squat again. So we become less and less able. So yes, you can say, but I do functional movement. And, oh, this is the wrong slide. I do functional movement. I do pull-up. So, but what is a pull-up? Is a pull-up not conditioning for climbing? And isn't climbing just a small part? Isn't a pull-up just a small part of climbing? We're missing some slides here, guys. So I've had people in my classes that actually could do 20 pull-ups. But not able anymore to actually climb on top of the body. And so we become less able because we created a gap between conditioning and actual skill. The neurological pathways that form our body's knowledge about how to move to climb have atrophied and are lost. Also, as you can see, oh, sorry, this does not refer to this slide at this point. So, I'm just going to continue my story along this slide. So, what do we need to do to bridge this gap? Basically, we have to look at how children play. Children play with three major goals: to explore the world, to explore their body, and to prepare for later life. A life that still needed movement to survive. And because this is in our ancient DNA, in our city history is very short compared to the actual history of our kind. So, kids almost always play, this refers to a slide that you saw earlier, kids almost always play with practical application in a world, real or imagined. It is not very different from the way cubs play, like tiger cubs or panther cubs, free from preconceptions, looks, face or glory. This is natural movement. Yes, thank you, this is natural movement, exactly. So, talking about cubs, we can go to the next slide now. Animals not only look incredibly fit, they are incredibly fit. They can run fast, they can jump high, they can land softly, they can climb trees, and they never go to the gym, right? Ever, as far as I know. They just move the way their body is designed by evolution. So maybe we should start moving a little bit more like these guys. Maybe not dressing like them, but definitely moving. Because since those hunter-gatherer times, our bodies have not changed. Only our environment did. So I teach people how to jump again, how to run barefoot again, how to crawl again, how to lift again, how to carry again, how to balance again. We practice the full range of our natural human capabilities. So I propose that we stop dumbing our bodies down and start practicing actual skills. I propose that looks become secondary objective and we start practicing to become strong and help other people. I propose that we go and explore and be intimate with our bodies beyond pushing through pain. I propose that we get out of our cocoon a little and start becoming more adaptive. I propose that we find the joy in movement again through exploration, skill mastery and play. And I propose that we do it now before we can't move anymore.
Yes.